Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, man, we got a video by Austin Sweat titled Ranking the Greatest Shooting Guard from Every NBA Team for 2021. So, we checked out the point guards one, and, well, as a Piston fan, I wasn't too happy because we were, listed as the worst in the NBA. So, trying to think, the Pistons starting shooting guard typically this season has been Wayne Ellington. Yeah, taking some L's in this one too, man. Here we go. Ranking the greatest shooting guard. I imagine we'll be seeing Wayne pretty quickly here, man. Pretty quickly.
We looked at the point guard rankings for this year, and if you haven't seen them, the link to that video is the first one in the description. So make sure to check it out. And I'm sure you're familiar with how these videos go by now, so let's just get started. With number 30 going
Oh
to
my god, man. Well, number 30! Number 30! Oh my god. I can't be surprised. I can't wait till the draft. I can't wait till the draft. Killian Hayes, Saddiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. Killian Hayes, Saddiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. Cade Cunningham. Detroit basketball. Sorry. Whenever I see these bitch-ass old heads on my screen like this, man, I just try to think about the future. Y'all see Saddiq the other night against the Cavs? He literally had like 5 threes in like literally 2 seconds, man. Okay. Killian Hayes, Saddiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. Cade Cunningham. Okay. Whew. We're happy. We're my happy place, man, okay? I found it. We're there. Okay. Get off my screen, Wayne.
Very impressive feat by the Pistons to land in the number 30 spot for both the point and shooting guard videos.
Okay, man. Now at this point, you just roasted me, bro. What do you expect with the last team in the NBA, man? I don't think we're technically last. I feel like the T-Wolves are worse. So I guess that's just about the T-Wolves, man. I was like, okay. Killian Hayes, Saddiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. Okay. Zone in. By the way, this video is 8 minutes 24 seconds long, man. Kobe, baby. Let's get it.
The Pistons to land in the number 30 spot for both the point and shooting guard videos. 29, the Thunder with...
Yeah, but you didn't have Killian listed as the point guard.
With the Thunder because I put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as their point guard in last video.
Wait, who's this?
He's actually playing shooting guard and Theo's
Theo.
Point, but just for the sake of the video and to keep things consistent, we'll count Maildon as shooting guard and rank him here.
He's been nice, though.
We have the Grizzlies and Grayson Allen, and nothing too exciting for him. He's a great shooter, but I
well,
don't
Dylan Brooks.
much more than that in the future. At 27, LA has Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. KCP
Damn.
now has the experience of having been a starter on a championship team, which is pretty valuable. But besides that, he's not great, which is why he ranks here. 26, the Bucks and Dante DiVincenzo.
Okay.
He's a solid role player. He's come a long way in the past couple of years. I don't ever see him being too much more than a role player.
Survived the Kings.
By now, Justin Holiday at 25 for the Pacers would have been much more.
Holiday over, I don't know if I'm taking Holiday over KCP or Dante, in my opinion. Huh, okay.
More than a role player. Early on, he showed some signs that he might get closer to his brother's skill level, but it just never happened. The Nuggets have the 24th spot for Will Barton, who's a good scorer, and he has the potential to have a big scoring game any night, but because he's pretty inconsistent, it doesn't always happen and stops him from ranking any higher.
Okay.
23, the Wolves and Anthony Edwards, and we gotta get
man, 23,
rookie.
wow.
He's leading all rookies and averaging 18 a game right now. It's not a great sign, though, that his shooting percentages are so low. Basically shooting 40% from the field and...
See, I don't think that's a big issue at all, because, like, when he was putting up those numbers, a lot of it was, like, when D'Lo was injured and, wasn't always playing with Cat and stuff. So, for me, to see a rookie put the ball in the basket, I think is very important. Like, the rest of, like, the efficiency and stuff, that's going to come in time. Like, the fact that he can at least put the ball in the basket, which, you look at guys maybe like Jarrett Culver and stuff like that have been struggling for the T-Wolves. At least this is a good telling sign that, hey, he can play basketball to some extent.
30% from 3, which makes it hard to tell how good he's going to be beyond this first season. But for now, I'd rank him right about here. Then the 76ers take 22 for Seth Curry. Seth has gone from barely being able to make it on an NBA team to being a player any playoff team would love to have.
He's pretty much Del Curry.
Because Simmons still is technically playing point. And while Seth never puts up amazing stats, his shooting numbers are what makes him one of the more valuable role players.
Dallas misses him. I know that much.
Bogdanovic is another great shooter for the Hawks at 21. And he's got a little bit more to his game. It hasn't been a great year for him so far in Atlanta, but he's on a 4-year deal. And I was gonna say he's still young, but this dude's 28 already. Either way, though, he's still got a lot of time to show how good
he's old young.
Number 20.
Or young old, whatever you want to say.
Terrence Ross. Ross has continued to play the best of his career in the 6-man role for Orlando. He doesn't really get talked about too much.
Like, Kuzma's like damn like 30 by now.
But I'm sure we'll see him continue on in that role for another team before too long, because I'm sure he's going to get traded this offseason. 19, the Warriors and Kelly Oubre. Wiggins or Oubre could be listed as the Warriors shooting shooting guard, so we're going with
I think it's Oubre.
And somebody get this man out of Golden State. There's a lot of teams a player like him would be good on, but the Warriors haven't been one of them. For that reason, though, the fact that he's still a valuable player is what ranks him this high.
Hey, really, I mean, that's not really the Warriors' fault, though. Like in my opinion, man, I mean, Oubre, I will say I don't like him listed as shooting guard, so I get that. I like him more playing as like a stretch four or maybe a small forward, so I guess I get that part. Maybe the fit's just not there quite.
And the Knicks have RJ Barrett at 18, and they really couldn't be any happier with how well he's been playing. His one weakness in his first season was his shooting, but it's clear that he's put in a lot of work and brought his percentages way up this season. And now he's looked great this year next to Julius.
Yeah, he'll be an all-star
so
before
I'm
long.
expecting big things from him within the next few years. 17, the Cavs and Colin Sexton. Darius Garland's been playing point guard, which has made Sexton their shooting guard, and I don't really like the idea of a 6'1" shooting guard, but I mean, he's been able to...
Bro, I think Donovan Mitchell's 6'1". I feel like Colin Sexton been killing it since he went to that 2 spot. Like, I did not like Colin Sexton as a point guard. To me, he just didn't really have, like, the playmaking abilities. And that's not to say he can't pass the basketball. Like, he's perfectly capable of it. But to me, like, Sexton is like a bucket getter. So you want him to go out there getting buckets and stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, like when the guys open on the cover, you toss it over to him or whatever, man. But as far as like running the offense, I just don't think that's his lane. And that's okay. Like Darius Garland has that under control. I love him at the 2 spot.
Averaged 24 points a game so far, so I guess I can't complain too much. 16, the Mavs and Tim Hardaway, and even though he's accepted a bench role this season,
yeah, I'll take Colin Sexton over Tim Hardaway.
His career so far, he's shooting the best he ever has, scoring just as much, and isn't just a guy that puts up points anymore. Instead, he's been a real difference maker as part of Dallas' second unit, and it's good. He wasn't the best fit with Luka, so this role's been perfect for him. Then the Rockets take 15 with Eric Gordon. Now, Kevin Porter Jr. has been playing great for the Rockets as a starter, and Eric's been injured, but he's still by far the Rockets' best shooting guard.
Oh, I disagree with that, bro. Kevin Porter,
20 points a game, and at the rate this Rockets team is going, he probably won't be in Houston beyond this season.
Yeah, I'll take Kevin Porter over him
for the Hornets.
Terry Scary Terry.
Point guard, so I'm putting Terry as their shooting guard. And they both could have been listed as either position. But I always believed in Terry since he left the Celtics. Now, I don't know that he deserved $20 million a year, but over the past 2 of them,
he deserves more of that now.
Living up to that hype. 13, the Kings and Buddy Hield.
Hey, buddy.
I don't even.
I ain't your buddy, pal.
Hield anymore. He's a good player. Not much has changed with him over the past 3 seasons, really. And maybe if he was on a better team, he'd rank higher. But for now, he just doesn't. Then at 12, we have the Pelicans and Eric Bledsoe. And Bledsoe's never really been the best offensive player, but he ranks here because of it and mainly his defense. And I don't really like him at shooting guard for the Pelicans or playing that position for any team, really. And
yeah, he's not a shooting guard, in my opinion.
But whether he's a perfect fit there or not, he's a good enough player to rank this high. And same for Marcus Smart in the Celtics at 11. Now, I do think that he's a good fit in Boston, but he's also never been the best scorer, but has been known for his elite defense. Even though his offense
bet you LeBron jammed on him there
pretty nicely the past couple years. Number 10, we have the Spurs and DeMar DeRozan. It's been a quiet year for DeRozan. Actually, I could
be very wrong about this, but I could have swore DeMar DeRozan was a power forward this season. Because I know I checked into it. I mean, a few weeks back, he said he was listed as a power forward. Because I think they have DeJounte at point guard, Derek White at the 2, Keldon Johnson at the 3, and I believe DeMar's at the 4 this year.
Been a quiet few years. He used to be at least a top 3 shooting guard in the league for.
We play like a damn all-star this year.
Ever since he left Toronto,
one of the biggest snubs.
20 a game, but somehow still can't shoot threes. Speaking of the Raptors, though, that brings us to number 9.
He ain't been that bad. I guess we've been like a 30% three-point shooter this season. I could be wrong about that, but I thought DeMar was doing okay from there now.
Them and Fred VanVleet. This year couldn't possibly have been worse for Toronto, but VanVleet's made the most of it.
They'll get a top 5 pick, though. They'll be okay.
And I don't really like the idea of a 6'1" shooting guard, which he is, but I do think he's in a position where he's going to be able to nicely transition to point guard once Kyle Lowry leaves the team. So
I agree with that.
Work out there.
I agree.
Number 8, the Heat and Victor Oladipo, and that's kind of weird to have said for the first time, and Victor might be out for the season with this knee problem, but even if he is, we'll just base this off of how well he played in the games he actually did play in, which were mostly for the Rockets. And he was looking just like his old self. I didn't know if he'd get back to that level ever.
Is he out for the year?
Even though the Rockets as a whole really sucked. Then we got to give the Trailblazers number 7 for CJ McCollum. CJ came out on fire to start this year and has cooled off since coming back from his injury, which is pretty sad, but at least he's remained consistent. And it's been enough to keep him as number 7. For number 6, though, it's the Bulls and Zach LaVine, who's without a doubt one of the best shooting guards in the entire league. Every single year he's been in the league, he just keeps getting better. And the man's got very little weaknesses in his game. If he was able to bring his team wins, though, he'd rank a lot higher. I mean, the Bulls got a pretty talented roster, so I don't know if it's more on LaVine or Chicago now. Devin Booker at 5 for the Suns.
D-Book at 5, okay.
On him too,
It was gonna be number 1.
I think one day Zach will get off of him just like Devin has. Because Booker's now still every bit the scorer and as efficient as he's always been, except they're now second in the West. And it's weird that just a player being on a winning team can bring them so much more validity. Number 4, the Wizards and Bradley Beal.
Real deal Bradley Beal.
Look, I just said the whole thing with how LaVine's on a bad team and about Devin Booker winning, but Beal's is a little different, alright? The Wizards team is trash, and Beal's averaging 30 a game for his second season.
Yeah, there comes a point where, like, stats and, like, wins together, like, are important, but even if your team's bad, but you're still putting up ridiculous stats, that can be a difference. Like that could be enough to put a guy as, like, over somebody else. The stats are close and winning losses and stuff like that matter, man, but, like, Beal has been putting up insane numbers.
Straight season. We all know it's not his fault. We can all agree on that. So let's all just agree that he's at least the 4th best shooting guard in the league, so we can move on.
Yeah, I have no issues with that.
Though we had to give it to the Clippers and Paul George. And Paul's a small forward, really, but himself, Kawhi, and Batum are basically all playing the same position for the Clippers, so I had to put one of them as a shooting guard. And
Lucky Luke not on the starters.
And I had to rank him at number 3 higher than a guy like Beal, because he has the scoring too, not as much, but he has it along with top-tier defense. Number 2, the Nets and Kyrie Irving. And I know this throws things off again, but I talked about it last video.
Yeah, that's okay. I remember that.
For this year. It feels
it's
weird,
fine,
but it's what happened and it's working. And Kyrie ranks here because, I mean, statistically, and even just what he's been doing on the court for him, I think this has been his best year yet. Plus, he's a proven championship player, and the reason number 1 beats him out is because it's Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell on number 1. Ugh. You know what, man? I mean, as you guys all know, I've been a big, huge Donovan Mitchell fan this season. You know, I even said this, like, I had this man listed as, like, my starter for the NBA All-Star team and everything like that. But as far as, like, him being, because there's a difference between being the best shooting guard in the NBA and being the best shooting guard on one of the best teams. And I feel like that's more Donovan Mitchell's lane. Like skill-wise, talent-wise, yes, this kid is fantastic. I just don't think he is the best shooting guard in the NBA. But I recognize what the Utah Jazz are doing. You know, and you know, complete respect to him, man. Like, if you all want to have him listed here, I have no issues with that at all. But I don't know if I got him at number 1. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'm okay with it, I guess. But what do you guys think? Y'all let me know in the comment section below.
For the Jazz. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not just being a Utah Jazz bandwagon or anything, just because they have the best record in the league. But Donovan's average...
Right, but that is a good point, though. Like, say that Mitchell was putting up the numbers he was putting up right now, but let's say the Jazz were like 7th or 6th in the Western Conference. Would anybody have him as number 1? I probably don't think so.
27 a game, and has led the Jazz to that record. Which, remember, Kyrie Irving isn't a leader, so even though he's won a championship, he's a second option type of player, and he's not a great leader. So it would have been hard to rank him over Donovan Mitchell, who's been
That's fair, I get that statement. I get that.
Few years. So for the first time ever, he takes the spot as the number 1 shooting guard in the league. And I know that may be controversial just like the rest of the list, so if you have an opinion, comment it down below and let me know what you'd most likely change and why. I'm open to seeing things from other people's opinions, so let me know. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, no issues with, I mean, listen, I don't get really too, like, mad at people for, like, listening or anything like that, just because, like, we all got our own choices and opinions at the end of the day. And actually, over on my main channel, I just posted a video of my All-NBA team selection predictions. I know people are going to be hating on that, so, but, you know, I think it's okay to also, like, voice your opinion and just, like, say, like, what you agree or disagree with. And I will say, personally speaking, if I were to do a ranking, you know, NBA shooting guard videos, I bet you my list would be a little completely different, but that's okay, too. We all, you know, value UNC basketball in a different way, so, I don't know, like... I really want to do a list like this one of these days on the main channel, Crispy Flakes, but it just feels like opening myself up to so much hate just because, like, nobody's ever going to agree with you on no matter, like, you could spend, like, an hour on making that list, you could spend a damn year making it, and people still aren't going to agree for whatever reason, and we all value things differently, but that's all good. Yeah. I would say the point guard ranking I probably liked a bit more. This one I definitely have some grievances about, but I will keep those to myself. Well, I guess I kind of stated them during the video. But yeah, very good video. I'll link to Austin's channel in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.